Good evening to you people. Today's silent film is from 1924 and stars the then King of Hollywood, Douglas Fairbanks, The Thief of Bagdad. There's also a remake as well from 1940 which I very much like, possibly more than this one. But this one, Thief of Bagdad, if you've seen Aladdin, if you watch this and watch Aladdin or vice versa, watch Aladdin and then watch this, you've got an idea of what's going on in this film. You know, Douglas Fairbanks is a thief, roams around, jumping, climbing, rolling around, showing off his acrobatic skills, of which he is very, very good at, very nimble, very light on his feet, climbs up magic ropes, and falls in love with a princess. But there's three princes, three suitors coming to her. She picks him because he's disguised as a prince. Sound familiar? He gets found out, but gets a chance along with the other three suitors to win the girl, win the princess, by bringing back the rarest item they can find, which is in the last hour of the film, which sends them off into magical lands, adventure time. That's when it is. Adventure time is the last hour. So it's similar to Aladdin. There's no genie, there's no lamp, but it's enough of it for you to know what it's about. And if you like that kind of thing, it's worth a look. If you don't like Aladdin, probably don't bother watching this. But I've seen this once, and it was 2015. See, I knew. Have I said, or did I talk to myself? Maybe I spoke to Merlin, but I said to somebody, I've been neglecting my silent films, and for 7 years from watching this, that proves it. It's 1.5 hours long. So that's a long film. Never mind be long for a silent film. But the combination of Douglas Fairbanks jumping around and doing what he does, with the look of the film and with the story, I like Arabian Nights type stories, put them into a mixer, and there's enough in there to keep me interested until they go off and they have adventure time. Now, when they have adventure time and there's these giant monsters come, with some of them you can see the string, the wire that's holding them up. Now, it's almost 100 years ago, so you can't slag them off too much. Because even without the string, you kind of know how they're doing this. Imagine in 1924. Imagine in 1924 seeing a flying carpet, not knowing how the fuck they did that. Then you've got a flying horse, Pegasus, which flies that way and then that way. You can see it's going up some stairs and it's just running normally. You can see that. But 1924, you probably didn't know that, and you were wowed by what you were seeing. Now, Douglas Fairbanks, he co-founded United Artists Film Studio with Mary Pickford, his future wife, D.W. Griffiths of Birth of a Nation fame, and the one and only Charlie Chaplin. And United Artists, I believe, is still going to this day. So that's a huge legacy to leave. This is another fine legacy to lead. He is very, early on in the film, he's hungry and he smells someone cooking food up on a balcony. So he goes and climbs his magic rope. You're in no doubt that the man's hungry. He's more expressive than a lot of people I've seen in silent films. But the look of the film is fantastic. It's one of the most expensive films of the 1920s, and you can see that in the massive buildings, the massive doors. It's phenomenal to look at. And you get the size of the scope of the film towards the end of the film when he's flying on his carpet, and you just see how big this city of Baghdad is. It's phenomenal. It really is. I was just going to say something else and I've forgotten it, but it doesn't matter. It's a long film. It's a very interesting to fun type of film, and I highly recommend that everyone watches The Thief of Baghdad and then goes to watch the remake in 1940, which does have a big fat genie in it. But Thief of Baghdad is very good. He wanted to make an epic, Douglas Fairbanks. He wanted to make an epic film, and I think with this, he succeeded.